Hey guys, what's up? So I've just finished moving, settled in a couple days ago, right? Flew back from Japan. Past couple days, I've been so exhausted trying to adjust the time difference. Haven't had a full night of sleep in a while. But we got most of our stuff taken care of, and I finally have some free time, so I decided to check out the parks in our area. Right now I'm at Sunland, New Mexico, at the skate park here, and holy crap, so far it looks awesome. I don't know if you could really tell how good it looks from me sitting here in my car, but compared to what I've been skating in Japan, this is so much better. So on to the topic of today's video. I finally got to pick up my pair of the Nike SB Nyjah 3s that I ordered when they came out, but because I was moving soon, I just mailed them to my mom and she dropped them off for me when I finished moving. And I am super excited to try these out, right? Now, starting off with the look, a lot of people have been saying, you know, the golf shoe, which I can see that, especially with the perforated holes. I think in terms of looks, they knocked it out of the park with his second shoe. The way the mesh and the rubber just kind of interlocked together, it was just a unique design that I liked wearing when I was skating, and I liked wearing just with regular clothes. So the things they're highlighting about the Nyjah 3s, right, I guess the first shoe was all rubber. People complained it was too hot. The second shoe added the mesh. People complained that the mesh was tearing. So they kind of did a hybrid of both. So they have the rubber with the holes in it and the mesh underneath. So now you get a shoe that's not all rubber and you get the mesh in there for breathability. This shoe has the plastic kind of soft collar that comes up around the heel. I guess it's to help with heel stability. It looks like it's gonna tear my laces really fast on my kick flips, but we'll see how that goes. On the back, it's got the tongue to help pull your shoe on with the little Nyjah tab, which is kind of useful because they got rid of the tongue on this shoe and went back to a full booty design, right? So it's just kind of one solid piece. And then they completely changed the outsole. So the Nyjah 1s and the Nyjah 2s had the same outsoles and they just changed the upper. Here they completely redid the outsole. So as you can see, it has this foam right here before you get to the actual outsole, and then the outsole has like this rubber that's kind of got like holes in it. I don't know how they did that. And then inside the heel underneath the foam they have the Nike Zoom Air unit. Now my two biggest complaints with the Nyjah 2s were, one, even though it had the Nyjah free technology in like the arch and heel kind of, it still hurt my feet. It hurt my feet a lot. It had really no padding and the insole was nothing. And two, the shoe didn't have a lot of grip. If you were skating a smaller board that was easier to maneuver, or a board with a lot of concave, then the shoe felt really good because you could get good grip still. But if you were skating like a really wide or flat board, it's really hard to get the grip I felt needed to comfortably move the board, which is why I stopped skating the shoe. Now, I can't attest to the grip yet because I haven't skated them. I'm about to. But as far as comfortability, just walking around, these feel a lot more comfortable than the Nyjah 2s. I can feel a little bit more padding in the ball of my foot, and I think that's from this foam that they added in. I'm curious to see how it holds up skating, and we're going to get into it. This one's got a bigger drop. I need to make sure I'm locked in if I'm going to commit to the landing. I'm filming my final thoughts on the video a couple days later. My GoPro died that day and I just got busy, and now I'm in Pensacola. The lighting in here is not that great. but we'll make do with what we have. Aftermath of first session. I'm goofy. This is my main flicking foot, as you can see. Not a whole lot of damage on the toe. I'm actually really surprised. You can barely even see the rubber starting to wear away. I am very disappointed about the laces. After one sesh, I was already about to tear through this middle one. I tear through laces a lot. I don't know what it is about my style. I always tear laces. It doesn't matter where they place them, I'm tearing them. Now I know Nyjah skates a thinner board and he puts his foot like barely on the board for a lot of his tricks, so maybe he doesn't have this issue with his laces, but I do. Like I said, I already barely tore through this one, so I went ahead and just super glued a lot of all these laces. That way the next session I wouldn't tear lace. Also, since these shoes are all white, they are also already starting to get dirty. That's just, it's gonna come with the shoe if you get a white skate shoe. Go ahead and take a look at my switch/nollie foot. I didn't do a whole lot, but I was trying nollie flips for quite a while. But here's damage, barely any. I wasn't about to tear through laces on this. I think it has to do with the way I do my nollie flips. I try to hang as little as my foot off the board as I can because I feel like too much foot, I'm not gonna be able to kick my foot enough. Whatever, I digress. I will say, to back up my earlier thoughts, just walking around in this shoe is way more comfortable than his second shoe. His second shoe didn't have a whole lot of padding. The front of the shoe was very thin and it hurt my foot. If I walked around in the shoe all day, it hurt my foot. If I skated for an hour, my feet hurt. That being said, his second shoe had the Nike Free technology in the heel right here. Didn't really do anything. If you skated drops or kind of like medium impact and you landed primo, like right where the free technology is, that did absorb some of the impact, but if you landed primo anywhere else in the shoe, it hurt. And I don't jump down stuff, but my feet would still ache after skating in that shoe for an hour and a half. This shoe, whatever this foam is that they are lining the bottom of the shoe in, is really comfortable. I can feel a slight squish every time I walk, and it's very comfortable. That being said, even though there's that foam there, it's still quite a bit of board feel, and I was starting to get used to it towards the end of the session. The drop from the 50-50, I missed it a couple times, and jumping off didn't really hurt my feet. It was more so my knees because I'm getting old. I've seen other people talk about this too, but I don't really like this little flap here. I wish it was attached all the way up, so once you tore this lace, this piece wouldn't just come all the way up. I like how they added in this better heel structure than the second shoe, but I don't like that it has these like extensions that go all the way up, and once you rip your lace, like this thing's just gonna be flapping there. The shoe fits a lot tighter than his second shoe. I'd say it's more akin to his first shoe because, like I said, they went back to the full booty. If you remove the rubber and this little heel protection, whatever, it's literally just one piece of cloth. That's the entire shoe, and there's no tongue, so you have to kind of slip this on and off. That being said, I have a averagely wide foot and these fit like perfect. So if you have a narrow foot, they will still fit really good. If you have a wide foot, these are probably going to be hard to wear. I can't skate the Shane O'Neills because they're too thin on my foot. But if I go skate like a Vans, then it feels a little too wide. So these, that booty fit, feels really perfect. This is the insole of the shoe. There isn't really one at all. This is literally just like a piece of cardboard. Like I said though, most of the impact protection doesn't come from this insole. It comes from whatever that foam is between the bottom of the shoe and the outsole. So I brought this up in the beginning of the video. A lot of people complained about the Nyjah ones that their feet got really hot because the shoe was all rubber. Makes sense. They added in the mesh. People were like, yay, our feet aren't hot. But now this mesh is tearing everywhere. And then they added in the hybrid. Now my feet never felt hot while I was skating these, but I did notice when I got home and everything, my feet were still really sweaty, which I guess just comes with being active outside in the sun and stuff. But while I was skating, they didn't feel hot. The first couple ollies I did with this shoe felt really off. And I think it's because of this rubber. Whatever this rubber that they're using, the first couple ollies were super slick, and I didn't feel like it was grabbing my board at all. And then after like maybe one or two, and I started like breaking the rubber, then it was really grippy. So that was an issue I never really had with the Nyjah 2s. The Nyjah 2s were kind of slick in terms of the flick, but they gripped enough to where you can get a nice precise kickflip. These, the first couple, like I felt like I couldn't even grip the board, and then after like a few, it was good. It was fine, and I could manipulate the board however I wanted. The bottom of the shoe is way grippier than the Nyjah 2s, and that's my main complaint I had about his second shoe, is that for the first couple sessions, the grip was mediocre enough to feel comfortable maneuvering my board, and then after those couple sessions, I just felt like my foot was slipping too much to maneuver the board comfortably the way that I wanted to. That issue has been solved with whatever this new rubber is that they're using for the outsole. I'm curious to see how it's going to feel as it wears down because it has these holes in it, but I plan on making a full review once I've extensively skated this shoe, so maybe I'll get to that problem and I'll be able to address it. Overall, I like the shoe a lot better than his second one. I think the second one looks cooler in terms of aesthetic. I like to go to the gym and work out a lot, and I wear a lot of athletic shoes when I'm not skateboarding, and the Nyjah 2s kind of felt like that perfect blend of an athletic shoe that I could go skate in. And I know that might not be something a lot of core skateboarders want, but it's something that I personally liked. And when they unveiled the look for this one, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I don't think it looks bad, but it's definitely a lot more unappealing than his second shoe. I think it's got a unique aesthetic, but that I don't think fits within skateboarding. His second shoe was cool, and you can make a case that it was a cool looking skate shoe. This one just looks like a golf shoe that's skatable, which, whatever. His second shoe looked cooler, but the third one skates a lot better. I never got to skate the Nyjah one, so I can't really compare. But they fixed my main major complaint about the second shoe, which was the grip, and I'm super happy about that. In conclusion, the shoe fits really nice if you have an average foot. I thought it was super comfy. There's more padding and a little bit more impact protection than the first shoe. Really comfortable. It's got a solid flick, and I'm definitely going to keep skating these until they're done. Leave it in the comments if you have any questions that I didn't address in the video. I know I tend to ramble and forget what talking points I was at. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Check out my other videos, and let me know what you guys are thinking.